That's one of the first mindset things I tried to change, is to show gratefulness to him. By extension, I show gratefulness to my life. That's the first thing. And the second point, what was the second point you mentioned about, as for speaking things into existence? I've actually thought about that. And a lot of people have said that to me. Andrew, stop putting it in the universe, because you're saying they're going to do these things and then those things happen. But then I also feel like by saying them, I protect myself. Imagine I never told the world 25 times they're going to put me in jail for no reason. Like the second I went to jail for no reason, that helped me a lot. So I'm kind of predicting the future as a shield. I'm not trying to speak them into existence. I'm trying to predict the future as a shield, but I understand what you're saying, and it's a fine line. They're absolutely powerful. And I also don't want to make anything come true, right? Because it's amazing how you can also self-fulfill things. You can make things come true by self-fulfilling them. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to say something, it's hard for me to think of an example off the top of my head, but if I say, I believe they're going to break in my house and they're going to kill me or whatever, when I hear noises at night, it fucks my head up. Who knows what I'm going to do? I might badly react. Who knows? So I don't want to self-fulfill either, but I do have, when I have a strong suspicion and I feel that something's going to happen, I feel like I have to say it to try to protect myself. And yeah, words are absolutely and utterly powerful. Language is a magic spell, and you have to be very careful how you use it. I think a lot of people have now, it's just the matrix itself which is left, which is trying to push these narratives. I'll give you an example. BBC will talk about how I said something 8 years ago on a video that got 100 views that could be misunderstood by young boys and is dangerous. I do not believe there is any 15-year-old boy on the planet who is finding 8-year-old videos with 100 views, watching them an hour long, taking out 3 seconds of it, putting it into his brain, ignoring the rest, and then becoming a bad person. The only reason these boys even hear these clips is because the BBC continue to use them in an attempt to slander me. So who's really poisoning their minds? It could be long gone, like it's old, and it's out of context. The BBC are incessant on trying to prove I'm a bad person, so they're doing the exact thing they're accusing me of doing. It's only the Matrix themselves that is left trying to say I'm a bad person. Most people at home understand it. The support I have is fantastic. 99% of people are on my side. People support me, and that's huge for me to know, and inside of my heart, it makes me feel fantastic. But the best thing you can do is lead by example, right? And I guess that's also another thing about this entire trial and this hero's journey I have to go through. I have to embrace it and face it with bravery and deal with it like a man should deal with it, regardless of the outcome. Just stand up and deal with it like a man and see how it goes, regardless of the outcome, and be the hero that I hope inspires men to be a hero also in their own life. I kind of hope men look at me and go, if he's going through that crap, well then maybe I can go through this. This is not as bad. If that's the example I have to set, if I have to charge and lead from the front and suffer to a degree to help people, then that's the path God chose for me. So we'll see how it goes. I don't regret it because I destroyed them so badly. But I was certainly suspicious of them. And I knew they were going to try something, but they lied to me. But I would never say I trusted them, but they lied to me. They told me they were going to come and ask me questions about my mental health, and they sat me down and attacked me in an attempt to slander my name with a big setup. And they wanted to talk to me for 2 hours and find 3 minutes of me making a mistake or stuttering or not being able to answer a question and use it against me to slander my name like they've always been doing. But I made a complete fool of them. And that scares me also, because that's their primary weapon, is the media. And if you continue to destroy the media, they're going to find other weapons, which is scary to me. Now they've moved on to the judicial system. We'll see what happens after that. But I let them in, not because I trusted them, but I thought, you know what, after all these months in jail and the fact they're asking me questions about my mental health, and this is my first time talking to the Matrix in a very long time, this might be an interesting conversation. And I was wrong. So instead I had to teach them all a lesson. I made fools of them. Like, I made absolute clowns of them. They should have just asked me interesting questions. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect him to come that hard, and he did, but this is the thing. This is where I was saying earlier about I believe the spiritual consciousness of people is changing, and I think that we're in the middle of a great awakening, because after the first Piers Morgan interview, when he came for me so hard, after the interview, I was like, well, this would be interesting to see back. And as I watched it back, it was hundreds of thousands of comments, people saying, Piers, what the fuck you doing? Leave the guy alone. People are tired of the MSM in their lives. I believe people like you and your channel has more power than most MSM outlets. I would argue right now that the Daily Mail said the 2 + 2 is 5, and if you said 2 + 2 is 4, you'd have more impact than that. I think the MSM is genuinely failing in real time. I think that citizen journalism is the way to go. And I think that if the MSM want to even stay relevant, gatekeeping information and trying to set narratives and attack people that they're told to attack is just going to destroy them even quicker. But they're not allowed to change because the only reason they exist in the first place is to do these things.
Yeah, but
Also, yeah, and the BBC is the British Broadcasting Corporation. They're a government-funded agency, and it is their goal to purport what the government wants purported upon the population. If the government wants you to believe the sky is green, the BBC are the people going to tell you the sky is green. That's their job. Do you think the news exists to inform you? Do you think the news, which is free and everywhere, is made by nice people so you know what's going on? You, Mr. Nobody at home. They really want you to know what's happening. That's why they give you this nice news channel.